Now, this is how I get the audio from the DR60 onto an SD card that I can put in the computer and take that audio and load it into some audio editing software like Movavi. I use Movavi 15 and WavePad. So here we go. I take the little QR2, it's a Zoom QR2 camera, and put it in front of the DR60. Turn on the DR60 to record me to playback.
Okay, I've never done a PDP session here in my new workshop. I hear the squirrel running across the roof. It appears that there are spirits talking to me. Is this my mother's spirit? Well, it is. It's going to be just a short session. I wanted to see if the spirit would speak to me here in my workshop. I don't know who it is that's talking, because I can't see you and I can't hear you. Is it my mother or one of my sisters or any member of my family? I'm asking you for a name because I know that can get you in trouble. Because the angels are always watching. Is that correct? You don't have to answer. I already know the answer. I'll turn it off in about 5 seconds. Thank you for talking to me. Bye-bye.
And that's how I do it. Okay, so I have the audio from the DR60 that I put on the Zoom camera, and got the little SD card right here and the adapter. I'm going to put it in the card reader, and let's see if I can find it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, that didn't seem to work too well. There we go. It finally showed up. It's right there. And there it is. I had to do it twice because battery petered out on my Zoom cam, so this is the second one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this. I'll just put DR60 shed test. How's that? We'll do it that way. Now, what I'll do is, now that I know where it's at, matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that sucker over to my 2 terabyte drive. That way it'll be saved and I can reuse this card again. Alright. So I'll go over, close this, get out of here, go over here to Movavi, open up Movavi. New project. Add files. We'll go over here to Zoom, DR60 shed test, and it'll bring it over to Movavi. And I like to string it out about that far. And what I use, and the reason I use Movavi is because with WavePad, it's hard to put the text onto the audio. So what I'll do is I'll go through here and I'll listen to every bit of the audio.
Okay, I've never done a PDP session here in my new workshop.
So there's one right there. So I'm going to string it out a little farther. And I go over to the text, the simple text, and I bring it down here. Okay. They said something there. Default is 5 seconds, so I'll bring it back to about here.
It appears that there are spirits talking to me. Is this my mother's spirit?
Now I can tell right there that is a spirit talking. So I try to take it just a few seconds at a time. Makes it easier for me to edit. These are the low spots where there's no audio. The higher the graph, the louder the audio. And I can lower the audio level on this thing. Well, somebody said they were there, I think. Oops. It's hard to tell what they're saying until you edit it.
I don't know who it is that's talking, because I can't see you and I can't hear you. Is it my mother or one of my sisters or any member of my family?
So I'll do this. Bring it back to where that spirit audio ends.
For a name, because I know that can get you in trouble.
I think she said it was my mother.
The angels are always watching. Is that correct? You don't have to answer.
My mother's spirit is with me all the time, pretty much, but she's never alone.
You don't have to answer. I already know the answer.
Because no matter where I go do a DR60 session, me and the girls, no matter, we can be on the top of a mountain out there around Terlingua, their spirits will speak to us. But I'm pretty sure it's my mother with me all the time. She hangs out, so whenever we do DR60 sessions, she can explain to the spirits that now we don't have any malicious intent. We're not trying to learn their heavenly secrets. And we simply want to communicate with them. Okay. And that's how I do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, oops, go back to the end. And I'm going to cut that part out. So we'll go here and where it says clip that out, hit delete, boom, it's gone. Alright. So now I'll go into the audio part of it and I want to raise it up to about 160% audio. Makes it a little easier to understand. That's 169, that's close enough. See how much more loud it is? But what I'm going to do over here, the really loud parts, use the right click, add a volume point. You have to do two of them. Two at the front, two at the back of each section you want to lower the volume on. Okay, and I'm going to do it like, I'll bring it down to about 50%, 54. So another volume point there, right click it, there. I'm going to bring it all the way over here. Add volume point, bring it down to about 50, that's 55. Okay. So, now what I do is go down here to WavePad, open it up, new, add a new file, go down here to where my files are, KT, that's the card that it's on, and it's going to be, I'll just slide it down here and slide it back up and let it load. There it is. And using the thumb wheel, I can make it as long or as big or as small as I want to. The bigger it is, the easier it is to read.
Okay, I've never done a ADP session here in my new shop, new workshop.
So let's take this part right here. We'll highlight it. I can amplify it. That's 400%. Okay, and if I want to slow it down or speed it up, I'll go over here to speed change, 52. That's 96%. That's slowed down 4%. Sound like they're saying okay. That's 84%. I'm going to put a plow on there. And then what I'll do is go down here to... Okay. And I'm going to put the text in there. Okay. Enter. There it is. That's how you add the text to it. And we'll go over to the next one.
Here's a squirrel wandering across the roof. It appears that there are
they were saying something, and I think I stepped on them. So we'll go over here to volume. We'll amplify it again. That's 340%. Well, we're going to go to effects, speed change. %. I think what it's saying, I think you're okay is what it's saying. And then I stepped on it. Could be I think you're okay or we think you're okay. But what you can do with this thing is you can loop it. Well, I think what they're saying, we think you're okay. That's my best guess. Now, what I have found over doing hundreds of these things, spending hundreds of hours doing this, is if I get away from it for a while and come back and re-listen to it, sometimes I hear things different after my ears heal up. So this is not the final cut.
Are spirits talking to me? Is this my mother's spirit?
Now, the word I'm looking for is my mother's spirit, okay?
It appears that there are spirits talking to me. Is this my mother's spirit?
So let me do this. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to cut my voice out of it. And what I'm going to do is go back to, I'm going to normalize it. Take all that loud noise out of it and normalize it, an average equal loudness. Okay, peak loudness, RMS. That's 6.940% normalized. Let me get my voice out of there. And we can go back and what I'm going to do is get more of my voice out of it. You know what it sounds like? It sounds to me like they're saying, what do you think you're doing? So I'm going to go over here to speed change. There's 44.890. I'm going to bump it up. That's 116%. That's 112%. That's 108%. And it sounds to me like, I'll go back to Movavi, sounds to me like they're saying, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? Now Movavi, you can change this, go up here and, gotta get back on it. You can change the size of the font. I've got it at 100%. You can change the color of the font. You got all these colors over here in this graph you can use. I'm going to stay with white. You can even put an outline around it. There's all these different outlines you can put around it. Okay? I'm not going to use an outline, but we're going to leave it like that for now. I'll come back later on and maybe change it if I hear something else. And we'll go to the next one. Sounds to me like, say, what are you doing? We'll go over to effects, speed change. That's 108%. Sounded to me like, again, they asked me, what are you doing? I'm going to put that on for now. Sometimes I have to change these things 3 or 4 times. Sometimes I come back and listen to it again. I say, how the heck did I come up with that? So anyhow, this is not the final cut. But the spirits tell me that they're not yelling when it gets really loud like that. In my personal opinion, the DR60 does not record audio. I think it records energy levels. Because you can cover the mic completely up with your thumb and it'll still record. So I'm pretty sure that the spirits are really close to the recorder. And when they get really excited, their energy aura expands and overwhelms the Bololo DR60, and this is what you get. They told me many times that we're not yelling. We are not yelling. And I ask them to back away from the recorder and talk in their normal tone of voice, if they want to be understood, which they usually do. And usually the second, and I'll play the first session back for them to listen to, and if they want to be heard, the second or third session, they will make themselves a little easier to understand. My mother understands that, and she tells them that. She tells the spirits, hey, he's my son. He's simply here to listen to what you have to say. He's not here to listen to your heavenly secrets. And the angels are always watching. They monitor what I do, because they are the stewards, the guardians of the heavenly secrets. People ask me, what do you think heavenly secrets are? Well, I'm not real sure. But it would be my guess is what it's like in heaven, what it's like in the afterlife, what happens when you die. Now, some people have said, well, we're getting closer and closer to a direct line with the spirits. I don't think it'll ever happen. I think the big man upstairs has got that veil between the living and the dead for a reason. I don't think the angels will ever let that happen. They'll do whatever they can, which includes destroying your health, doing everything they can to keep people from breaking through that veil and learning the heavenly secrets. Everybody finds out soon enough. When they die, they find out the heavenly secrets. So, anyhow, that's just my opinion. So let's go to the next one. Let's go down here to this, and we'll just slide this over like this. Take my voice out of it. See, I start stepping on them right about there. And that's the bad thing about the DR60. One of the few drawbacks that I see with the DR60, besides the lousy audio that playback, but you can never tell when they stop talking or when they start talking. Now, you'll see the little blinking LED on top of the DR60 when it's completely quiet and it's not picking up any ambient noise. When that little light starts blinking, you know the spirits are talking. But you can't tell when they start and when they stop. Now, that sentence right there, that little three-part sentence right there, it might have been 10 or 12 seconds. But you don't know when they start and you don't know when they stop. So what we'll do is we'll go over here and we'll normalize this. We'll apply normalization. I'll go up here and amplify it a wee bit. I'm not going to use it because I'm not real sure. I don't want to have to come back and redo it. But I think the first part, it says, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. Now, so I'm going to put that now so I won't forget it. I don't know. I can't tell what the rest of it is, so I'll put these question marks. Now, we can come back to that later on. After I get my ears rested for a wee bit.
I wanted to see if the spirit can speak to me here in my workshop. I don't know who it is.
Okay. Now the key word I'm looking for is workshop. That way I'll know down on WavePad.
It's just a short session. I wanted to see if the spirit can speak to me here in my workshop.
Now, let me span that out a little bit, make it a little easier to make it easier to highlight. I'm going to keep cutting it back to get my voice out of it. Let's amplify that rascal just a little bit. There's 340. You know what I think it's saying? I would bet money that is my mother. And I think what she's saying is, I'm proud of you. My mother says that all the time. I don't know why, but she does. Here we go. My speed change. That's 116%. 112. Let me drag it down to 52. That's 84%. I think that's what she's saying. I'm pretty sure it's my mom. I hope you guys agree. But like I say, I might come back later on and say, what the heck? Where did I get that? But for right now, we're going to leave it at this. Okay. Let's go over here. Okay, we're looking for the keywords. I'm going to get these really light. I'm going to amplify the heck out of this. I think what that is, I can amplify it some more. Go back and do another. I'm pretty sure I know what it says. There's other spirits in the background. So let me slow it down a bit. Somebody in the background is telling my mother, don't you tell him. Don't you tell him. I'm going to put that in yellow. Don't you tell him. Now, I don't know if that's an angel telling my mom. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color. Usually what I'll do is if I think it's a spirit talking to another spirit, I'll put that in yellow as opposed to the white font. So people watching the video will know that the white font means that spirits talking to me, or the yellow font means the spirits are talking to each other. Okay, and that's just my opinion. Of course, I can't see them. But what we'll do is go back down here to WavePad and slide that over here. And I stepped on them again, because I can't tell, like I say, I can't tell when they're, this amplified. Okay, effects, speed change. Let me make this font smaller. What I'm going to do is make this down here about 80%. Move it up here out of the way, and then what I'll do, the rest of it is go down here and say, I love him. I think that's what my mom is saying. But I can't really tell. So what we're going to do, I don't know if she's talking to us. I'll leave it at yellow. She might be talking to the other spirits. Okay, in trouble. That's the key word. Okay. What I'm going to do is take these little dead spots out so we'll get more of a contiguous sentence. Now, I think what they're saying is, yes, he's right. In other words, giving out names could get them in trouble. Ah. What does anybody else think about that? Another spirit is telling one spirit telling another spirit, he seems all right. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it for now. Go back to Mojave. Let me put that in there so I won't forget when I think they said he seems all right. Now, I have spirits all in my house. This is like Grand Central Station. My mother says it's standing room only around my house. And when I asked her why, she says because they know you can hear them. And a lot of them won't help getting to heaven. The ones, I guess, that are earthbound are stuck. They never had a chance to get to heaven when they died. For some reason. Maybe they died too fast. They don't even know they're dead. Maybe they decided to hang around instead of going through the light. Maybe they were attached to a person here that was living, or maybe a piece of land, or a home or something. They decided not to go through the light. But if you miss your chance, I think you're pretty well stuck. Okay. I think that was a spirit talking to another spirit, so I'm going to make that yellow too. There we go. Put a little period in there. Oops. All right. There you go. Okay, had to put a little period in there.
Because the angels are always watching. Is that correct?
So here's the word we're looking for.
Angels are always watching. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, we have to lower the level of the noise in that, so I'm going to normalize it. I'm pretty sure I know what it's saying. See, I think they're telling me, you will see. In other words, when it comes my time to get up there, they're going to say, well, I told you, fool. So here we go. We're going to take and make that, you will see. Okay. Now that could mean just about anything, to tell you the truth. They may have already shown me, and I think they probably have. Because I have been threatened. Talking to the spirits can be dangerous. And I'm going to tell you my opinion about that. Some of these spirits have been dead for hundreds of years. They don't understand the technology. They may have been in the ground or strolling around the surface of the earth, their spirit, for 200 or 300 years, and now all of a sudden some clown comes in, he's got this little device in his hand, and he can hear them speak. It scares the crap out of them. Who is this guy, and how can he do that? What are his intentions? But the ones that haven't been dead all that long, they know the technology. They understand recorders and all that stuff. But some of the older spirits get really angry. I mean, I've been told before that I need to leave, and I need to leave now. I've even been told, we know where you live, and we're going to come after you. From some of the older spirits in a little bitty small town I used to go to, where one of my friends is buried. So, I don't go up there very often anymore. That's going to be hard to figure out. That is nothing but garbage. So let's go and normalize this one. See if we can. No, I'll never figure that one out. I don't know what that says. So what I'm going to do is put question marks on it and come back to it later. All right. I don't think I'll ever figure that one out. I got a vague idea how it starts, but I think the first few words are "you better" something. Okay, let's go down here to WavePad. That's 264% amplification. I'll go back over here to speed, change the speed. I'm pretty sure it's telling me y'all never should listen. Y'all never should listen. Never should listen. Period. We're almost finished. Back down to WavePad. I'm pretty sure they're telling me your mother is here. Anybody else hear that? Let me slow it down. I'm pretty sure that's what they're saying. Could be my mother telling me that. Your mother is here. She usually is, which makes me very, very comfortable. But you know what's funny? I went in for surgery here a while back, and I asked my mother before I went into surgery if she would be there with me in the operating room. Well, after the surgery, I came home and turned the DR60 on, and I asked her, I said, "Mom, were you able to come into the surgery room, the operating room?" She says, "I was there, but they wouldn't let me go into in other words, she couldn't go into the operating room. I think she had to stand outside. I think she was with my two sisters, and they were outside. But the angels wouldn't allow her into the operating room. I'm thinking the reason they wouldn't allow her in there is they were probably afraid she would try to influence the outcome of the surgery, and they're not allowed to do that at all. They cannot change anything. They can stand back and watch. That's all they can do. Anyhow, Just more my opinion. But you know, I draw my opinions from the hundreds of hours of doing EVP sessions and editing the audio. So pretty sure that's what she's saying. So anyhow, if I was finished with this, I'd hit export. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll do that. I'll go to export and I'll name it. I'll name it Shed. No, not Shed. Workshop EVP session. I use a hunt and peck method. Let's see, to type. Today is 17. Today is the 17th, 2021. And I put on there unfinished. So I know I can come back and finish it. Okay, and that's going to save it in my pictures file, the highest quality. And it's 853 megs. I'm going to put it in Windows Movie Video. Got all these choices: MP4, AVI, MOV, MPEG 1, MPEG 2, Windows Movie Video, and what all these other ones. Anyhow, I usually save it in Windows Movie Video because that's the ones I use to put on our website and Facebook. Here we go. Start, and it's saving it right now. So anyhow, this is how I have to do it. And that was a short session. Some of those sessions I have to spend 4, 5, 6 hours on. I've spent as long as 35 hours doing them before, so. You know, I don't always get them right, but I think I'm getting pretty close. Thank you for watching.